podcast, click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch, cause we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We on playback. We on playback. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the #1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. My name is Dennis Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. My mandate is to be an advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. And I want to make sure that the issues confronting black men are defended, protected, enunciated, spoke upon by black men who have a vested interest in the black community. And so my draw to the Black Manosphere, or YouTube in general, to use my voice, my wisdom, my experience, was solely because black men weren't being heard. But they're hearing us now. They're hearing us as to our issues related to modern relationships, politics, education, finance, and so many other things. And I'm extremely proud of these gentlemen. I'm extremely proud of the people who put this together. It is a wonderful event, and I look forward to attending in the years to come. Hey man, I do what I do.
Gotta watch your back, even family that's amongst you. Got a slut ass auntie and a cool ass uncle. Kinda won't front you, but let you ride the whip around the block like you stunts. Don't do a lot of bumping. When your mama call when her ex-man jumping, all you see is feet and her ex-man stumping. That's my Uncle D, that's why the Blizzard King coming. Hot girl winter, Blizzard King summer. My we succumbing, no singing and no humming, talking we shall overcome it. Got him leaking, I'm the plumber. My nigga made Zoom look cool, yeah, you funny. What else Uncle D gotta prove more money? Overlook the tunes, if gotta shun him. Brotherhood over any woman. Cause if she play a role, then she fam, then she good. When we say brother, my sister, we mean the hood. Now homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge and dish it just how you want. He just run his mouth and that bullshit we debunk. In a sunken place, he's sinking that drunk. He don't even drink and I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. Brand good, suit and tie, lawyer reppin' manhood. He don't tap dance, he overstand, he playing good. Titles don't get it, most of us getting ambushed. Mayonnaise, clam bush, buck broken, man tush. Woke up in the morning, got walk, that's on my mind. Peace can only come when you're low and order divine. I stay entwined, you keep a criminal mind. How you think I shine and stay from falling behind? He got open eyes and can't see it, he blind. You nice all the time, they tell you water is wine. Slaughter all your sons and leave your daughters behind. All she wanna do is flash that big behind. Your music is the garbage they use to take you down. You used to rap intelligent, now you rapping like clowns. My prerogative, you thinking like Bobby Brown. Rest in peace to Whitney, Christina, that's underground. Wake up years later, you've been around. Water up to your neck and watching you as you drown. How you scoring touchdown again and you out of bounds? All the black men getting passports out of town. Homie pop the trunk, it's been reeking just like a skunk. We can serve your knowledge and dish it just how you want. He just run his mouth and that shit we debunk. In the sunken place, he singing that good song. He don't even drink and I tell you that the drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. He don't even drink and I tell you that good drunk. My nephew told me I wanna be just like my uncle. D, my Uncle 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 D, favorite uncle, Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, favorite uncle, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, my favorite uncle, Blizzard King, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, Uncle D, my favorite uncle, what? Uncle D, my favorite uncle, my Uncle D, my Uncle D, yeah, Uncle D.
If you ever been to Cartier, they do a good job after too.
So we appreciate you, Kevin. This is from my family to yours, to you.
Thank you very
And
much.
you've done so much for our family. You introduced me to this beautiful woman who is soon to be my wife. But
She shot her shot.
She got that significant character.
There's so many of these little catchphrases.
I was actually listening to that broadcast with you three with Obsidian.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, let me go back to the Facebook group real quick.
Which one was it? The shoot the shot video?
And the thing is, her family has Dominican roots. And so I was living down there.
I'm gonna check this out. Yeah, baby. Oh, wait, this tonight. I won't break it. Woo! Is this the Ooh collection?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Les Uns Voyage.
Thank you.
I was thinking
This
just
would be a good day.
Santoral, but then I was like, let's get them the full
This is
collection.
this is the ginger one. Musk. Pink is amber. You can give her a shout out. You can give her a shout out next time you do a show. You can give her a shout out.
I'm gonna
The Oud collection, one of the best Oud collections in the world, and nobody really knows about these. I need to talk about these. Told you, I've been hipping out the fragrances. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Oh, and there's a card in there.
There you go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Dennis Spurling, also known as the Blizzard King. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here today as we reflect on the legacy of Kevin Samuels, a man who reshaped conversations about relationships, accountability, and self-improvement. And we must always remember his legacy. But today, I want to address what I see to be a troubling trend that has emerged in his absence. That's the rise of imposters. And these are people trying to emulate Kevin's success without his wisdom or lived experience. And it threatens to dilute the very message he worked so hard to convey. Now, Kevin Samuels taught us something revolutionary. Telling women the truth about themselves could not only be impactful, but it also was immensely lucrative. But see, for decades, men were told that the only way to succeed in the public space was to pander to women. Figures like Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and countless pastors and reverends built their platforms by bashing men while uplifting women, no matter how destructive their behaviors might have been. The narrative was simple. Men are always to blame, and women are above reproach. This approach was immensely profitable. It catered to women's egos, it assuring them that they were always right and never responsible for the dysfunctions in their lives. It sold books, it packed church pews, and it made careers. Meanwhile, men were scapegoated, told to serve and suffer in silence, and left without advocates in a society quick to dismiss their struggles. Then Kevin Samuels disrupted the industry. He told women what no one else dared to say, the truth. He held up a mirror. He forced them to confront their choices and behaviors and mindsets. And he challenged the idea that women's values was innate and untouchable, making it clear that accountability was a two-way street. And while his message was uncomfortable to many, it resonated deeply with those ready to hear it. Kevin wasn't a man regurgitating talking points or pandering for profit. He spoke from decades of lived experiences. And by the time he became a household name, Kevin was well into his 50s, having navigated the peaks and valleys of life, success, failure, heartbreak, and wisdom. His words carried weight because they were grounded in reality. Now, let's contrast that with the rise of figures like David Cooley of the No Fugazee podcast. Here's a man in his early 30s, positioning himself as some sort of thought leader for men while embodying the very contradictions he tells us to avoid. Koolee advises men to steer clear of single mothers, yet he himself is in a relationship with a single white single mother of two. Not only that, but he has a biracial child from a previous relationship. How then is he qualified to advise black men about dating black women? Let's be honest. Koolee opted out. He chose a path that distances him from the cultural and relational dynamics black men face when dating within our community. His track record disqualifies him from being a credible voice on this subject. Koolee likes to call himself an outlier. Somebody type outlier in the chat room. Somebody type outlier in the chat room. Outlier. But what exactly sets this young man apart? Is it his lack of academic achievements? His non-existent professional credentials? His ability to regurgitate tired red pill talking points? Mr. Koolee is not an outlier. He is a statistic. He is another man trying to mask his inadequacies with bravado and posturing. How can you preach against dating single mothers when your life choices contradict that very principle? How can you speak to black relationships when you've removed yourself from their reality? This pattern extends to other influencers like Andrew Tate, whose notoriety stems from controversy rather than substance. These men are driven by youthful hubris and arrogance of thinking they can muscle through life's complexities without patience and insight that only come with age. That's why they make so many reckless mistakes. They're living in the phase of life where ego outweighs wisdom, where bravado replaces reflection. Shout out to TIQS. Fellas, men, let me be blunt. Your 20s and 30s are for learning. This is the time to make mistakes, figure out who you are, and grow. Wisdom comes later. Wisdom comes later through years of trial and error, victories and losses, introspection and growth. By the time Kevin Samuels began sharing his message with the world, he had lived through the lessons that men like Mr. Cooley and Mr. Tate are just now beginning to stumble through. Kevin didn't need to hide behind contradictions and inconsistencies. He wasn't just some guy talking for clicks and views. His message was deliberate and measured and rooted in authenticity. That's why it resonated so deeply with men and women alike. To the men trying to follow in Kevin's footsteps, here's the harsh reality. Slow down. Let me say that again. Slow down. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Slow down. Stop pretending you have all the answers when you clearly don't. See, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take the time to live, to fail, to succeed, and to reflect. Until you've walked the road and earned its lessons, your words will lack the authenticity and power that Kevin Samuels brought to the table. And to the audience, be discerning. Not everyone with a microphone deserves your attention. Look for voices that have been tested by time, voices grounded in real experience, not superficial posturing. Don't let charisma fool you into mistaking ego for expertise. Kevin Samuels showed us the power of truth, not just for profit, but for real change. He gave men a voice and taught us to demand accountability in all aspects of life. That's a legacy worth protecting. And that's why I helped protect his legacy upon his time when he left this planet. So I ask you all to help me. Don't let his legacy be undermined by those who lack the wisdom, depth, and credibility to carry it forward. And I'm not the only one that sees this.
Passed away. There have been so many people online trying to take his place. And I gotta be honest with y'all, you don't have any type of originality behind your stuff. You're all just trying to be copy and paste versions of Kevin Samuels or Fresh and Fit. And it's just lame, toxic, hypocritical behavior because none of y'all live your raps. Like my boy right here. You know, Mr. Single Moms are recreational use only. Meanwhile, you got with a whole single mom of 2 or 3 children. And I say 2 or 3 children because those 2 white children clearly aren't yours. And the internet's saying that mixed baby ain't yours, but I don't know if it is or not. So maybe she got 3 kids and 2 baby daddies. Maybe she got, well, she got 4 kids now. Maybe she got 4 kids and 3 baby daddies, or 4 kids and 2 baby daddies. Or maybe she might be a clean 4 for 4. I don't really know. All I know is that you're doing a lot more than recreational use for shorty. So apparently you have a response video to being called out for your own hypocrisy.
This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill.
Yo, this nigga went full-blown Morpheus. This screams, I date Manny.
The story ends. You wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I know y'all like that, right?
No.
There's a few things that we're going to get into tonight. It's been a lot of noise in these streets, and we're going to explain and expose all the misinformation and propaganda that these reaction channels is doing about Koolee and no Fugazee. So,
my nigga, you talking in the third person. You guys listen to a nigga who talks in the third person?
I never said I was a top tier man.
A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids.
I ask you all to please excuse the language, but you know, this is raw and uncut, and this is what this young man's peers are saying about him. Keep listening.
A single mother who was a BBL Becky.
1, chick does not have a BBL.
So that's the first thing you respond to. You drop a bomb behind that shit. She doesn't have a BBL. Got him. Got you, Benny. I
have full custody of my kid, right? Difference between me and you is I met my girl when we got together when we were 25.
It's getting worse, my boy. None of this changes the fact that you said out of your mouth, single moms are recreational use only. All this lip wrestling don't mean shit, don't change shit.
I still recommend you guys stay away from single moms.
And also, let's keep it a beam. We all know brothers like you love to talk down to and about black women, but will get with the white woman of the exact same ilk and then big her up to be a queen. You said you got with this girl when y'all was young, like 25 or whatever, so she had 2 or 3 kids at
And he's still young.
the age of 25, and you was like, we finna do this. All right, let's go to the comment section, shall we? Mind you, this is the comment section of your video. As a black man, I love that you are being exposed for exactly who I knew you were the first time I came across your content. I hope they keep exposing you grifters. In other words, I've been hypocritical from the beginning. This ain't new. Koolee admitted that he's not high value. We agree. 4 kids plus 2 baby daddies plus 0 rings equals 1 exception. You a grown-ass man making race play TikToks, homie. He said he met this lady in 2017. She was 25. His lady says her kids were 11 and 15 in 2023. That means she had a kid at 16 and 20. Dude, totally Fugazee. What the fuck is you talking about? You imply you're top tier every podcast. You're 6'4", make over 100 grand a year, and you ended up with a farmer's hand-me-downs. Whew, child. You hit it raw, you didn't have second thoughts, now you a single dad, She said, I'ma have this kid, don't care if he's here or not, but now you're a single dad, now you a single. Show the baby off. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'm gonna have to start a podcast. And I already have a name for it. Kevin Samuels spent so much time telling y'all this.
Winter is coming. Winter's coming though, ladies.
2 or 3 children. And I say 2 or 3.
Is coming in the chat room.
You a single dad. Now you a single.
Somebody type winter is here in the chat room.
You a single. Show the baby off. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'm gonna have to start a podcast. And I already have a name for it. Kevin Samuels spent so much time telling y'all this.
Winter is coming. Winter's coming though, ladies.
Winter is here.
Winter is here. And I am the Blizzard King. So let's not mince words. This is where we separate the wheat from the chaff. Ever since Kevin Samuels passed away, a swarm of imposters have emerged, desperate to try to fill his shoes. They're parroting his language, imitating his delivery, but let me tell you, they lack his soul, his authenticity, and most importantly, his lived experience. Kevin told us winter is coming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, winter is here. And it's exposing the pretenders. Take one of the loudest offenders, this guy right here, David Cooley of the No Fugazee podcast. Here's a man who's built his platform to take, telling black men that single mothers are recreational use. Somebody type recreational use in the chat room. Yet he plays stepfather to a white woman's children while bashing black women at every turn. The math isn't mathing. How can you hold black women to one standard while giving white women a pass for the exact same behavior? That's not leadership, that's pandering. And it's really pandering to your insecurities. And let's talk about this claim as being an outlier. Koolee wants us to believe he's exceptional, but where's the evidence? No significant academic achievements, no groundbreaking career accomplishments, no originality in his content, just a man trying to pass off recycled content. That's it. And see, the sad part is that many of you all don't realize this. Now, he tells everybody he's a high value man. This is one of the cornerstones of Kevin Samuels' legacy, the definition of what a high value man is. Matter of fact, I will let you all go through his, and I ask you all to go through his Excuse me, I got some work to do here. I had to do that. Basically, he meticulously outlined what it meant to be a high value man. And the bar, he said, was rooted in excellence, not just surface level posturing. And here's Kevin Samuel's high value man. First of all, it had to do with his definition was it started with earning capacity. A high value man earns $10,000 monthly and has that sustained for a period of 3 to 5 years. Okay, he also has something called group acceptance. He acknowledged, and he's acknowledged by other high value men and operates in circles where this standard is the norm. His work, his visible impact. His work, his presence, his significant influence, his visibility within the field. That's a high value man. His network, his connections. He has access to a network of like-minded men and resources that reflect his success. That's a high value man. His utility to society. He contributes value to his community or society in ways that go beyond his personal success. That's a high value. That's a high value man. Somebody type high value man in the chat room. Consistency. He demonstrates reliability, emotional maturity, and consistency in his actions. That's a high value man. Somebody type high value man in the chat room. Somebody type high value man in the chat room. Now ask yourself, by these standards, does David Cooley or any of these other people, do they even come close to what a high value man is? Just because you're 6'4" and make $100,000 a year? That's the beginner package. He hasn't achieved the earning consistency. He lacks the network of respected high value men to validate his claims. Where they at? His visibility is based on controversy and hypocrisy, not impact or contribution. And most importantly, his lack of emotional maturity and consistency automatically disqualifies him entirely. Koolee's own actions betray him. Here's a man stepping into a situation as a stepfather of 2, perhaps 3 or 4 white children, or half white children. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Those white folks are not letting him discipline those kids. You think the relatives of those white kids are going to let him discipline those children? Think about that. It's already bad enough when you're a black man in a house with black children and you're the stepdaddy. That man has no authority or respect. And you want to tell black men how to lead their households and how to deal with black women? Because white folks ain't listening to you. Kevin Samuels would have saw right through this. Just like he did Derrick Jackson. Kevin was relentless in his critique of men like Derrick Jackson, just because he recognized the dangers of their hypocrisy and the lack of real world wisdom. He would say the same thing to Koolee. You don't have enough life experience to discuss relationships. You're still in your early 20s, making the same mistakes Kevin spent decades learning from. Your knowledge base is incomplete. You haven't lived through the challenges, heartbreaks, and growth that come with navigating real relationships over time. You're not thoughtful or studied. Kevin spoke from a lifetime of being married, divorced twice, marrying a single mother. He knew firsthand the challenges and pitfalls of these dynamics. Koolee, on the other hand, and many like him, lack the depth to offer anything more than recycled talking points. Kevin spoke against marrying single mothers because he had lived it. He knew the pain and challenges of being a stepfather, particularly in a world where you're often treated as less than by children and even the woman herself. Koolee and men like him, they ignore these hard truths and pretend he's the exception. The reality is he's walking into a situation he neither is prepared for nor qualified to speak on. Kevin Samuels would have called him out for exactly what he is, a man playing at wisdom without the tools, experiences or credentials to back it up. He'd tell him to sit down and live a little bit more life and stop misleading others with these half-baked ideas. See, the truth is, Koolee represents the antithesis of what Kevin stood for. Kevin demanded accountability, maturity, and consistency. He expected men to earn the right to speak by living through the trials and tests of life, not by regurgitating buzzwords and pretending to be an expert. And let me remind you, Kevin didn't speak against single mothers out of bitterness. He spoke from hard-earned wisdom. He knew the challenges firsthand, especially the lack of authority and respect often afforded to stepfathers. He would have seen Koolee's situation for exactly what it was, a man out of his depth, clinging to a false narrative to maintain a facade. So when you hear these pretenders speak, remember Kevin's legacy. He was a man who lived, learned, and shared from a place of authenticity. Don't let his message be hijacked. And I said hijacked by those who haven't earned the right to speak on his behalf. Winter is here, and it's exposing frauds. And so let's honor Kevin's legacy by holding the line on truth, accountability, and standards that he set. Happy birthday. The photograph or the video you're looking at is at a restaurant called Swan down in Miami. And this was Kevin's birthday. This would have been the last birthday he had, and after that, this is upstairs in Swan, and that's Kevin and my fiance at the time, and it was Kevin's birthday. You all know who that lovely lady is on the other side over there. This is it's a good day. That was in Miami, and a few months later, if you look in the background, I'm gonna let you guys When you guys recognize those 4 men, you let me know who they are. I'm looking. You guys let me know when you recognize who those individuals are. Who are those men? One of them, I'll give you a hint. One of them is me, right? Who are the rest of those fellas? Somebody tell me who the rest of those fellas are. Huh? Who are the rest of those men? Name the names. You know the names? Name the names. Right? You guys got it figured out? Let me see. You got to spell the whole names out. No acronyms. I want to see whole names. I want to see whole names. Yeah, man. It was that day that I met Kevin Samuels in New York with those esteemed gentlemen. And we had big plans. We had big plans, guys. Really big plans. Yep. Rest in peace, Kevin. That's right. Lead attorney, mediocre tutorials and reviews, Kevin Samuels and myself. That's who you just saw. But let's continue. So we're talking about the hypocrisy of these all Fugazee wannabe Kevin Samuels podcasters. That's what we're talking about. And see, the dangers of these opportunists, and this is the heart of the matter. Why is it so dangerous to follow these young, opportunistic voices who are out here chasing clicks, views, and fast money? See, these are people who don't care about you. They don't care about your well-being or your future. They care about one thing: monetizing your confusion, your anger, and your hopes. And if you're not careful, they will lead you down a path of destruction, heartbreak, and regret. When you listen to these so-called podcasters, these dating coaches, these gurus, these red pill minded guys, you're playing with fire. Let me paint a picture of where their advice can lead you. These opportunities will have you believing that trust and compromise are weaknesses, that every woman is out to use you, and that love is always 100% transactional with every woman you meet. They'll twist your mindset until you can't form healthy relationships, leaving you bitter and alone. They'll encourage you to stay away from women in general, but specifically they'll say no to single mothers, but they'll glorify the idea of quick flings and casual relationships. But what they won't tell you is how that can lead to unexpected pregnancies, child support battles, and numerous venereal diseases, health issues, along with years of financial hardship. One reckless decision can leave you tied to someone financially for 18 years or more, draining your resources and your peace of mind. And see, that reckless advice can push you into situations where you act out of frustration or ignorance. Before you know it, you're in court for custody, dealing with restraining orders or worse, facing legal battles because you lack the guidance to handle conflict with maturity. And by following these hypocrites who don't live their words, you're being set up to repeat the same mistakes they've made, mistakes they refuse to admit. You end up in a cycle of broken relationships, financial instability, and emotional exhaustion, all because you trusted the wrong voices. Somebody type Wrong voices in the chat room. Understand this and get my super chats up, because I got 3 and I need more. You're going to have to pay for quality. Just like Kevin Samuels said. Look, these young influencers are not here to help you. They're here to help themselves. They know that controversy sells, that anger gets clicks, and that polarizing topics drive engagement. But what happens when their advice leaves you worse off than when you started? They won't be there to pick up the pieces. They'll have moved on to the next grift, leaving you to deal with the fallout. These are people who haven't lived enough life to understand the complexities of relationships, yet they talk as if they've mastered them. They tell you to avoid single mothers while they're playing stepdaddy right now. They claim to be high-value men while exhibiting none of the traits that Kevin Samuels defined. They speak from a place of arrogance, not wisdom. They have no accountability for the damage they caused. The truth is, the best advice comes from those who've walked the road, earned the scars, and come back to teach others. It comes from people like Kevin Samuels, who didn't just talk about relationships, he lived them. He experienced marriage, divorce, and the challenges of being a stepdad. He spoke out against marrying single mothers, not because he was bitter, not because he was angry, because he knew the harsh realities that go along with that situation. Kevin wasn't a hypocrite. His advice was rooted in experience, study, and thoughtful reflection. He didn't tell men and women that what they wanted to hear. Kevin Samuels used to roast dudes. You guys remember that? He told that fella, call that little chubby fella, said, you chubby and you got a small tallywhacker. He didn't use those words. He told them what they needed to hear. And that's why his message changed lives. You folks, your life is too valuable to be guided by opportunists. Don't let someone who hasn't earned their stripes lead you into chaos. Look for mentors and leaders who practice what they preach, who live the lives they proclaim, and who are willing to be honest about their own mistakes and shortcomings. If you're a man, protect your legacy. Don't let the wrong advice push you into situations that rob you of your time and money and peace. If you're a young woman, don't fall for the sweet lies of those who don't value you. Demand respect, accountability, integrity from those who you let in your life. The road to success and happiness and fulfillment is paved with, it's not paved with shortcuts. It's paved with wisdom, effort, and the guidance of those who have walked the path before you. Choose your mentors wisely and don't let the frauds and opportunists steer you off course. Winter is here. Winter is here and it's exposing the real from the fake. So stand firm, seek the truth, and build a life that reflects the values and integrity that Kevin stands for, or he stood for. See, the difference between Kevin Samuels and David Cooley and men like him is, to me, it's like night and day. I want you guys to hear me. Kevin Samuels loved Black people. Kevin Samuels loved Black women. Kevin Samuels respected and wanted the best for Black men. And most importantly, He loved, respected, and cared for us enough to tell us about ourselves, even when it was hard to hear. And that's something that many of his critics failed to understand while he was alive. But it became undeniable when he passed away. I had the honor of working with Kevin, along with those other very influential voices on YouTube, MTR, lead attorney. We were laying the groundwork for something revolutionary. We were going to pool our resources and our talents and our platforms to create industries that will revitalize Black America. Imagine an advertising conglomerate worth hundreds of millions of dollars driving economic growth and cultural rebirth in the Black community. That was Kevin Samuels' vision. He was about building, not tearing down. He wanted to uplift Black men. He wanted to uplift Black women, not exploit them for profit. And Kevin Samuels' plan didn't stop there. He knew that the key to a strong Black economy and a strong Black community was strong Black families. And that could only happen when Black men and like-minded Black women got together. He envisioned traveling city to city, bringing like-minded Black men and like-minded Black women together to create relationships, marriages, and families. And for years, Kevin refused to allow non-Black women into his Facebook group called The Mix. Somebody typed The Mix in the chat room. He refused to let all these non-Black women into his group because he wanted Black women to have first shot at him. Why? Because his mission was clear. Black men and Black women needed to reconnect, rebuild, and restore the family unit. Shout out to my man, Divine Photos. Kevin himself married 2 Black women, raised a Black daughter, and he cherished and loved his Black mother. He understood the importance and the beauty of Black love because he lived it. Kevin Samuels was more than just a YouTuber. He was an Afro-futurist, a man who believed in the greatness of our people and worked tirelessly to represent us with dignity. Y'all remember Suit Saturday? Huh? Look at his music selections and his lifestyle. Kevin didn't even drink. The only time he had a drink was when I bought a bottle of Ace of Spades at his birthday party. You know, Uncle D can throw them back. I'm fun to drink with. I'm that guy. But nevertheless, Kevin embodied the best of Black culture. He was a modern day ambassador for Black men and women. He showed the world what we were capable of when we strive for excellence. Kevin could have filled up an auditorium in Australia. He was so popular, and he represented us well. Now let's contrast that with David Cooley. This man doesn't even like Black women. His track record speaks volumes. He's dating a white woman right now, raising biracial children, and has repeatedly expressed anti-Black sentiments. So I ask you, why would you take advice from someone who doesn't even love you? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once said, in order to teach our people, you must first love our people. And that was a quote he got from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And David Cooley fails that basic test. Kevin Samuels reprimanded Black women when they needed it. He called out their bad behavior and challenged their delusional dreams, but he always did it from a place of love. He wanted Black women to succeed, to build relationships, and to create strong families with Black men. I'll never forget the time that white woman called up to his show and tried to bash Black women, and Kevin shut her down immediately. You all remember that? He didn't tolerate disrespect towards his people at all. But David Cooley, this wannabe, and all these other wannabe Kevin Samuels, just like him, they're a different breed. All they do is bash black women for kicks and views. That's it. There's no love in their words. There's no vision for our community. There's no desire to build. They profit off division. They thrive on chaos. And they'll leave you in worse shape than when you started. If the person you're taking advice from doesn't genuinely love black people, they're not qualified to guide you. Kevin and I, and even though I don't care, you see, Kevin loves you. I don't love you like that. But one thing in common, we both deliver these harsh truths. But we do so because we deeply are concerned with the future of our people. Love is what sets us apart from the frauds, and love is what drives our mission. The litmus test for leadership is love. Love for our people, love for our culture, love for our future. And KS embodied that love. And that's why his legacy will endure long after these pretenders have faded into obscurity. Winter is here, and the frauds are being exposed. And it's time for you to choose wisely who you let speak into your life. I ain't got a whole lot more to say. I'm gonna let y'all ride out. I love you all. God bless you. This is Uncle.
So we appreciate you, Kevin. This is from my family to yours, to you.
Thank you.
And you've done so much for our family. You introduced me to this beautiful woman who is soon to be my wife. But
She shot her shot.
She got that significant character.
Significant character. There's so many of these little catchphrases.
I was actually listening to that broadcast with you three with the singing.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, let me go back to the Facebook group real quick.
Which one was it? The shoot the shot video?
And the thing is, her family has Dominican roots. And so I was living down there. I'm just checking this out.
Yeah, baby. Won't break. Woo! Is this the Ooh collection?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Thank you.
I was thinking
It's been a good day.
Sons of all, but then I was like, what's the
This is the ginger one. Rust. Pink. That's new. Amber.
You can give it a shout out. You can give it a shout out next time you do the show. You can give it a shout out.
I'm gonna
The Oud collection, one of the best Oud collections in the world, and nobody really knows about these. I need to talk about these. I told you, I've been hypnotic fragrances. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Kobe Burt, and I'm 36 years old, and I'm from Pensacola, Florida. I've been a fan of Kevin Samuels for a little over a year and a half now. Kevin helped me understand my value as a black man. He also equipped me with tools on how to properly vet a potential wife. He taught me how important it is for black men to take control of our image. Kevin Samuels was the blueprint for becoming the best version of yourself, all while remaining confident, intelligent, and assertive. Kevin started a much needed conversation within the black community, and it took the world by storm. Kevin will be dearly missed, and may he continue to rest in peace.
Kevin Samuels, you came into my life a little over a year ago when I started watching your content, and you were that father figure that I never had growing up. I grew up just like you. Single mother raised, middle class household. Papa was a Rolling Stone. He wasn't really there. I had to learn a lot of things on my own, and come to find out I was so behind in life until I came into your content. You have taught me so much about adulthood, manhood, leveling up, high value men. And listen, Kevin Samuels, I have leveled up so much in life to say I'm only 21 years old due to your content, due to everything that you have taught me. And I promise you, I will be a high value man in years to come, thanks to you, the Godfather. Kevin, we love you. I love you. And everything that you have taught me, I will instill it into my children, my little cousins, and any young man that I see that needs help and guidance growing up. Kevin, I thank you, because you instilled that into me, and I'm going to take that and instill it into someone else. Thank you. Love you, Kevin.
One of the many messages I learned from Brother Kevin Samuels is to be the best version of yourself. If you know you got something going on, if you got issues that need to be addressed, get help, whether it be therapy or, and like in my case, I hired a life coach. I spent the money. I invested in myself. It's been a great help, and I wouldn't have never done that if I hadn't heard it from somebody who looked like me. I did have a father in my life, but he worked so much like many of our fathers that there was a void. Kevin filled that void. I'll be eternally grateful for Kevin Samuels, eternally grateful for the sacrifice the family gave, for giving him to us. And I just want to thank you all, say God bless, and just know that he meant a lot to a lot of us. And it was just a short time, but the lasting effects are going to be forever. Thank you so much.
43, man. Real mixed emotions right now. All I can say is greatest that did it. The first man that actually spoke what we men have been feeling, but didn't have the galls to say. He was the one that actually took it to that level, man. And he just didn't talk, you know what I mean? This is a subject Kevin studied. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of people talking about, you know, his failed marriages and blase. And all I got to say to that man is, you know, look, the man studied the subject. The man said truth. It hurts. I'm one that I can definitely tell you, truth hurts. But all I'm going to say is definitely going to be missed, brother. Rest easy. See you next life cycle.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Mark. This is my wife, Liz. Hi. And we're making this video especially for Kevin's mom, daughter, friends, and all the people who had the opportunity to be blessed with his presence. Over the years, I've watched Kevin, and Kevin has motivated me and given me the courage to quit my job 3 years ago, started my own business, and now making 6 figures plus. He's also taught my wife
how to be more feminine and inspirational to my husband.
One of the biggest things we learned from it though is how much when we're apart, the impact that it has to our community. So I will tell you this, I will be doing my part to make sure that Kevin Samuel's name lives on and his work lives on. So if you think it's over, oh no, we're just getting started. Peace out.
Kevin Holmes here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. For the past year, Kevin Samuels taught me more masculine common core values to have as a man than my poor single mother ever could teach me. I didn't have a father growing up because my mom divorced him when I was in first grade due to him being an alcoholic. I didn't have any brothers or many other people I could go to and talk about things that Kevin Samuels explained to me clearly. His brilliance didn't just relate and have an impact on the Black community, but to all communities. It's disappointing that Kevin's candidness was interpreted as misogyny and hate when it was his attempt to bridge back together long-lasting, loving, and trusting relationships that today's society has seemed to forget what it takes to maintain. Kevin Samuels has left an everlasting impact on my life.
I just wanted to give a couple of words about how Kevin helped me with some of his insights. He did a stream earlier this year where he was talking to men, and he was talking to a guy who was 33 years old, and he was saying that he wanted to know how to get women in his life and how he could eventually find a wife. And he kept stressing to the guy, well, you're 33, you don't really have your money up like that, so no women are gonna really want you. You gotta get your life in order before you can expect to bring women in. And that really hit me because I think I'm doing pretty well at the age that I'm at, but I've always been doing better. And it really caused me to look at where I'm at and make a commitment to double down on the efforts I was putting in. And as a result of that, I've been making between $5,000 to $6,000 for the last 4 months, solely because I really got on my grind. I looked at what I could be doing better, and I put it to work. And it's not that I wasn't on my grind before, but Kevin really had a lot of good messages out there, both for women and men, but specifically for men, on how you need to show up as a man in your life in order to get the results that you want, get the women you want, and get the kind of money that you need to really live that successful lifestyle. And I wish there was going to be more content of his putting out, but he's got such a big catalog of stuff that is going to be immensely helpful for any guy that wants to check through and watch it. So much respect to him, much respect to the message he put out there. And I hope guys that are just coming to his content, don't listen to everybody out there saying, oh my God, he said all this stuff. Really listen to the messages, see what he was really passionate about, and follow that, and you'll be well on your way to being as successful as he was. Rest in peace.
My name is Durwood, this is Latisa, and we'd like to share our story of how Kevin Samuels has helped our relationship and help us to start a family. We use a lot of his content that he created to have discussions. Every time he would go live, we would watch the videos, and she'd come and she'd ask questions and try to get my perspective on things. Some things I agreed with Kevin with, other things I didn't. But we never got into arguments or fights or anything about the subject matter. If anything, it made us come closer together, and it helped both of us to realize that there was more that I needed to be doing as a man. Like he said, put in your hours. Always constantly trying to improve. And I'm sure for her, it helped her to understand men more than what she had previously known. And I can't thank the work that he did enough, because it created a bond, well, it helped create a bond between both of us that I don't think will ever be broken. And every single day, we continue to just love each other and to help build each other up. Every day isn't going to be perfect, because also, like Kevin said, love isn't the basis of a relationship. It's about duty. And my duty is my purpose. Her duty and her purpose is to take care of the children in the household, and we come together and we both play our parts, and it's a beautiful thing. And we would like to just let the world know that regardless of some of the things people may say about Kevin that may be negative and disparaging upon his name, he did a good thing in our life, and we couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah. And I would just like to say that we definitely received a very humbling message from Kevin. When we met, I actually had a child prior to our relationship. So it was a lot of learning that I got from him, and we're building up our family. We just had a beautiful baby girl together. I am actually from Ohio, and he was in Florida when we met, and so now we're living together in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I mean, this, I believe wholeheartedly, is a work from Kevin, that we were successful and we're engaged now. So life is really beautiful, and just thank you so much, Kevin. Rest in peace. We will be missed.
So the year is 2017. I'm going through a really difficult divorce. And during that time, I was really focused on self-improvement. How can I improve myself both internally and externally? And so I went to YouTube, saw some videos, and then I saw Kevin, and I watched a lot of his videos. He was really big into, being an image consultant and helping you with your image and doing fragrance reviews. But one thing I noticed is that he talked about getting therapy a lot, and that he had gone to therapy. And that's something that I wasn't really interested in. I didn't think I needed therapy. I thought therapy was only for broken people and I was fine, or so I thought. I wasn't getting the outcomes that I really wanted, so I knew something had to change. And Kevin he has a great way of being a mirror and reflecting who you are. I went to therapy and I didn't realize how much I needed it until I got into it. As a result of therapy, I'm a much better man, better father, better friend, better colleague. If I ever get married again, I know I'm going to be a better husband. And because that goes to one thing that will always stick with me from what Kevin said, and that was the people around you will benefit most once you decide to be the best version of yourself. And that will stick with me forever. That's my story. That's how Kevin changed my life, because therapy changed my life. And I never would have went to therapy if it weren't from him always advocating for it.